The IEX is a capstone project for NUS College. It brings together the classroom knowledge, the skills that the students pick up, but to give it a twist, to bring them out into the field, work with communities, and found solutions. The key thing is to look at the problems that communities face, work together in multidisciplinary teams, formulate an interdisciplinary solution, implement it, be willing to take risks. So I want them to have a holistic experience with this course. I don't want them to use their left brain, right? I want them to use their right brain and to be creative about it.
IEX is really different from other service learning programs. In a service learning program, things are sort of set up for the students. Everything's arranged, they kind of go, they do the work, and then they're done. But in IEX, none of that is set up. They have to do it. The focus is really on the community engagement. All the students have to go up, work together with the community to figure out what the project is actually going to be, and basically start the program from scratch. Of course, they get help with facilitation from people like me, their supervisors and whatnot, but it requires far more sort of initiative and resourcefulness from the students than it is to just sort of be slotted into an ongoing program.
There's a running joke around the village that there's two outsiders carrying big backpacks and they never stop walking.
Our project is about gibbon conservation here in Upland, Chiang Mai. What we do is we try to wake up as early as possible in the day so that we can hear the gibbons when they call, because the gibbons usually call when the sun hits the forest. We hear their calls and then we run after them as much as possible.
The Korean people treat gibbons not as animals, but as humans and a sort of another form of themselves, and they are very spiritually connected. So here we're in this forest protecting the gibbons through spiritual means. And how we want to do that is by ordaining trees, which means to wrap a monk's robe and protect the tree as well as the surrounding forest. We are also in the process of marking trees. We're looking for really important trees to the gibbons, like fruiting trees and banyan trees in this area. And this allows us to map out really important sections of the forest that pass through the Pongsayan area. And then we can identify which are the critical parts that need to be protected spiritually. This basically stops deforestation in this area and allows the forest to grow and mature to be suitable for the gibbons to live happily. I gotta be honest, this place is changing me. This endless pursuit of chasing after the gibbons has gotten me engaged with wanting to explore new places.
I really like the fact that we can disconnect from all the technology that we have in our daily lives, because there's basically no signal here. You kind of have to scale a mountain just to get signal. And the other thing that I really love about Pongsayan is the sense of community. It's so strong here. It's really, really a close-knit community, and I think that's not something that we have in Singapore. I think this project has made me think a lot more about what goes beyond just gibbon conservation and how it impacts the livelihood and the lives of people that live here.
Working with elephants is really a sort of life-changing experience for me. I'm a biologist, so elephants to me are animals. You look at how they care for and treat their elephants. It's almost as though they're human, they're part of the family. Our project here was to improve the tourism infrastructure with the Hui Pakut Elephant Foundation.
I mean, we started with essentially a blank slate. We had no idea what the community wanted. We had no idea whether we were like imposing something onto the community.
Our group was probably one of the most chaotic ones. We all created a group based on just the idea of elephant conservation. We had no idea what it would be, and it definitely didn't turn out as I thought it would be. It also opened up doors for us to different community partners that we could choose to work with. And in the end, we chose to come here to Hui Pakut to work with Dee and his foundation.
What the village is trying to do here is trying to strike a balance in the middle, being able to protect the interests of both humans and elephants. And I think IEX specifically really helps us understand the community better.
I realized in our project, people are really our biggest resource. Basically, what we do is that we encourage upland farmers to cultivate coffee as opposed to other cash crops. In the village that we're working in, it's specifically corn, and that's because corn is quite bad for the environment in that sense. If we encourage them to switch away to coffee, it's much better for their environment in the sense that it's a shade-covered crop, so you don't have to destroy forests for it. Coffee can fetch like really high prices, and so that means the villagers can sell their produce for higher prices and they don't have to be stuck in their debt cycle.
So first off, they start off as like green cherries, and they grow, and there are different kinds of plants. So there's like Typica, Robusta, Arabica, all those different kinds of variety. And they start off as green, and then when they slowly like ripen, they become this like dark red, and that's when they're ready for picking.
One big thing for me is the kind of friendships that we formed here. The villagers here, they have so much knowledge, so much wisdom. They'll just be plucking here, plucking there, putting in their bags, and then after that, next thing you know, it's on your plate for dinner, right? So it's small things like that that teach me how resourceful these people are. It's a lesson that you'll never get to experience living in the city, living in Singapore in such a comfortable place.
In Singapore, you just like turn on a button and like you have hot water, you know. I don't think I've had hot water here in any of my trips, you know. The step up that I think I had is like changing my perspectives. We started off like thinking we could like help the village completely transition, help their standard of living. And I think just interacting with like two main stakeholders from the village, it's taught us a lot about like difficulties and like the own struggles they face in their own lives and like how we can't like impose our own ideas. So I think like that has been the biggest step up for me mentally.
We want to kind of cultivate, I think, among the students that their consciousness about the region. The university is very supportive of this. Explore and experiment with undergraduate education. This is really a program that tries to work within our regional borders. And the regional borders is important because this is where our identity is as a National University of Singapore.
It's really impactful for them, right? That students can really learn how to apply the kind of classroom knowledge into the real world and to make it meaningful and kind of relevant to their own lives. And I think with those things that are project-based, where they have to do so much and become so engaged and so invested in the field, that this is stuff that they'll remember, you know, like forever.
The only thing that's on my mind right now is just I really want to come back, like even after this IEX, and like I feel like it's a project that I'm getting emotional.
Wait. Go crazy. I think like you know, this is like your one chance of like going out there, experiencing something that you can't really experience, and like don't let like small considerations like affect you, like maybe long travel times or like how remote a place might be. Like it's really like what you make out of the opportunity that you're presented. IEX is genuinely like one of like the best things I've experienced in NUS College.
It's about the journey, not the destination.
Yeah.